We're going to talk about dress-ups for Life at the Gibbons house. For setup, you're going to come into this closet and you're going to pull out dresses. You need to know how old the children are to determine which dresses you're going to have. So right here we have medium dresses, and they're in these garment bags just to protect the dresses, and we have large. For the demonstration today, I'm only going to pull out the medium, and then you can come over here and place them on the bed. If you need to do the smalls, they're actually in a container underneath the bed. So we're just going to take out, for our demonstration, 2 dresses today. So you're going to take them out, take them off the hangers, and then we're going to actually take them into the next room. The next step you're going to do is place the dresses, and you're going to want to put them, if you have mixed sizes, you're going to want to put the smalls on the top, and then you'll put the larger ones on the bottom. And make sure that you do that every time so you're always ready for your next session. The next thing you have to do for dress-ups is to get the mirror, and the mirror is located inside here on the steps, and I'm going to remove it and I'm going to take it into the parlor. The mirror is placed in this direction where the mirror is actually facing the wall, because when the children come in here and I have them sit on the floor, they will be looking at themselves. So this is used only during the time after they're all dressed. I'll turn the mirror around so they can see themselves. And then after they leave, before the next group, I put it back in that position. Additional clothing can be found for the boys and accessories in this chest right here. And for today's purposes, I already have them placed on the chair, and I'm going to show you a couple of the items. I always like to pull out some shawls because the girls like to put the shawls on over their dress. And then I'll demonstrate the hat during the time period with the children. And then this is Mrs. Gibbons' dress. Additional supplies can be found right here in this washstand. I pull out certain pictures, and then I also take a collar and the cuffs as well as a pocket watch to be demonstrated when we're showing the children about dress-ups. So now it's time to meet our children. The first rotation, I will be outside of the building and I bring them in. For every rotation after that, I will coordinate with my cookie guide, because it's really important that our timing is right, because when she sends them up, I have to be ready. So I'm usually standing right here and we say, send the children up if the cookie guide is ready. And then I have the children come up and they stand over here. And it's really important, you want the children standing away from this doorway. And the last person is typically the chaperone or teacher, and they will be right here to protect, because there is no door to close. So once the children are assembled in this room, I will go over about whose room was this, possibly this is the bedroom Mr. and Mrs. Gibbons slept in, and I would only talk about maybe the 3rd floor, how the other children slept up there. I talk about the pitcher and the bowl for Mr. Gibbons to shave, and then I will go over some items. Definitely the skirt lifter, because I think it's very important how Mrs. Gibbons got up and down those steps holding a baby. And I would go over and talk about the curling iron and have them guess about it. And then if there's time allows, I always try to talk about the button hook. And I definitely always refer to the chamber pot underneath the bed. Once the children are coming into this room, I have them sit on the floor, and then I'm going to demonstrate some of the clothing first. So I talk about how, like, I am dressed with a long apron, a long skirt, and then I have my apron, and then I ask who might want to be Mrs. Gibbons. And so I have here the skirt as well as the bodice, and I'll help them dress. I usually take a taller person and have them put this on. Then I reach over and I ask who wants to be Anna Gibbons. And I have a young lady come up and I tell them to put their arms out like a robot, and then I will slide the dress onto their arms, and then I will hook it into the back. It's very important that you keep the aprons with the dresses, because if you separate them, you'll have a difficult time trying to match them all up in a timely fashion. Also during this time, when I have a young lady standing here in this little dress, I'll demonstrate the hat. Now it's important, I never put the hat on the children, but I will show how the bonnet, would go on the dress. And then if they want to accessorize, they can put some shawls on as well. So once I have demonstrated what the girls' clothes look like, I come over and I talk about the boys. So I ask for a volunteer who wants to be Mr. DuPont, and they all get a giggle out of that as well. And I put on the collar first, and then I place on this long jacket. And then I have him go over and just take a seat while I continue doing the demonstration. Sometimes I'll ask a young man who wants to be Sam Frizzle, and I'll put this jacket on as well. And so the two of them, Mr. DuPont and Mr. Frizzle, are sitting on the floor waiting for the rest of the children. Then I go over to with the aprons, and I talk about the pants, and I talk about that there was no zippers, that they used suspenders, and then I'll also demonstrate what the cap looked like that the boys would wear. Once I have gone through the clothing, then I have I'll ask the chaperone to help me with the girls, and I'll have another chaperone over here to help me with the boys to get dressed, and then the rest of them will get dressed. And then we take the mirror, they can all look at themselves, and then I have them line up in front of the stove, and they get their photograph taken. We'd always do 2 photographs, one smiling and one with serious faces that I discuss later about why they have to keep their faces stiff. So once the children have had the dresses on, they've taken their pictures, I have them come up and I start to take the dresses off, and it's very important you keep that pinafore attached to that dress. And so then I have them just do it the same way. They stand in front of me and I pull the dress off, and then I place it neatly on this rack so it's all ready for our next group. The easier you do here, the better it'll be, and it's less to do once this group leaves. Then I ask a chaperone to help me take the boys' clothes and put them neatly back on the sofa as well. If time permits, I will have the children still seated on the floor, and then I demonstrate about the cuffs and the collars, and as well as Mr. DuPont's pocket watch. And then I always like to go over the information about the photographs and talk about why they had to have serious faces. And these photographs are right here next to me, so I have access to them. Prior to the children leaving, I just keep them on the floor here. I make sure they get their coats. We're lined up. I always want to be checking my time. I always have our little schedule in the back of my badge, so I know exactly what time. I line them up, and then I release the children to go either to toys or to Sunday school. In the event you ever have to shorten the time, you can introduce the children to the bedroom and then just talk about the objects as you walk into the parlor. And then you can start with the dress up part of the demonstration. After the children are gone, then it's time to clean up. So you want to take all the accessories and the boys' clothes and you place them in this chest, and you just close the lid, and you're going to place this scarf on top, and then we'll move on to the dresses next. So when the girls' dresses, we're going to take the dresses and put them back on the hangers and put them in the appropriate garment bag, and we're going to then hang the garment bags back up, or they'll go into the bin underneath. Also, we're going to have to take our photographs and our collars and accessories back and put them away into the wash stand.